This will be a post-trip recap for this trailer. We were on the road for a little over 2 weeks with a short stop at home after a couple days on the first part of it. We started out the trip here in Fresno. We drove to Sonora. We went to a Celtic festival there. I play with the Fresno Stag and Thistle pipe band. I'm a bagpiper sometimes. And so I played with them in Sonora, and then we came back home. I got a chance to fix a couple items. Then we went south. We went to Lake Isabella. We drove through the desert there. We did some rock collecting in the desert. My family always loved to do that. Stopped in Death Valley. We saw all the sights there in Death Valley. We drove north out of Death Valley on the dirt road that goes up north and ends up in Big Pine. It's like 45 miles of washboard dirt road. So that was definitely a hardcore test for some of my stuff. We went up to Bishop. I got to stop at a brewery there in Bishop. And then we went to the Laws Train Museum in Bishop, which is an excellent museum. So if you're in Bishop, make sure to stop by there. It's an excellent museum. They have all kinds of cool stuff, not just trains. It's free. It's huge. And it was definitely worth a visit. Give them a couple hours and take a look at that museum. I fished in the lower Owens there. Went up to Mammoth. We were in Mammoth for a couple days up there during St. Patty's Day. I got to go to, there's 3 breweries in Mammoth. There are 2 breweries and a distillery / brewery. Went to Black Dowd Brewing and Mammoth Brewing. And then I have to give a big shout out to Shelter Distilling. Thank you very much for letting me play. I brought my pipes in there and everybody loved it. And it was a good time for St. Patty's Day night. So I got to enjoy that. After we left Mammoth, we went to June Lake Brewing, and then down I fished the East Fork of the Walker River. Went to Mammoth Lake, checked out their the tufa stuff there. It was really cool. Drove north, kind of poked along, seeing the sights, and ended up in Carson. Went to a brewery there, Shoe Tree Brewing in Carson. We came back up over Highway 88, stopped at my parents' house to pick up the kids that they had, and then my parents took the kids at Mammoth. They took the kids and went home. So we had half the trip with just the wife and I. And so thanks, Mom and Dad. And then we headed home. So the trailer performs quite well. It tows well. 55-60 on the freeway is very comfortable. It would go faster, but it wasn't as easy. Obviously, it was a little more of a load on the trailer or on the van. I averaged, I think, about 16 miles to the gallon, which I can't complain about at all. 15-16 miles to the gallon without the trailer tails on. I had the trailer tails on to go up to Sonora, and when I got up there, they seemed to be working fine, and it seemed like I was getting better gas mileage, or at least felt like that. And when I got up there, I noticed that there was some cracking on one of the points where I pinned it on because I was kind of in a hurry. And so I'm going to fix those, and then I'll do some testing with the tails on. In a future video, I'll show all that. As far as things that I fixed in Sonora, I noticed a couple issues that I was able to fix on the way home. I added a second step. There's 2 steps here for the girls to get onto the bed. And this futon had kind of a low spot in the middle. It just kind of bowed down in the center. And so I made a block when I got home that way, just put under the bed at night, and it would hold the center up so that we weren't, so we had a flat bed. Metal parts of this trailer that are connected to the outside condense moisture in a cold environment. So the outside is cold, the inside is warmer, and the moisture from our breath would condense on anything metal that was connected to the outside. So the roof beams especially, the door frame, and even these little screws in the wall would gather moisture from our breath on the wall. If there's only 2 people in here, it probably wouldn't be as big of an issue, but with all 5 of us in here breathing, lots of moisture.
As you can see here in the cold, any metal that's exposed to the exterior carries through, and we're condensing. Our breath is turning into ice on the exterior. It's on the roof beams up here too. It's actually starting to melt off. I finally got the heater to start. You can see it. Let's see if we find some there on the screws that are screwed into the exterior metal too. So I don't know, it'd be nice to be able to insulate the exterior of this thing.
Things that I'm going to get rid of, fix, change, whatever, is this little heater. I don't like it really on the inside. It'll be okay for an outside heater But on the low setting, it does not catalyze the gas. So we got a lot of gas odor coming off it on the low setting. On the high setting, heats the trailer up fast and works fine. Not a lot of gas smell, but it just wasn't optimum for what we were doing. And it kind of wanders around the trailer. I was afraid I was going to light the dog on fire because he's fluffy and he kept walking by it. So I'm going to build my own heater that I'm going to build into one of the walls or put on the roof or something like that. It also didn't want to light in the mornings, which was really weird. And I think I finally figured out what the issue was, is that the trailer's well enough sealed that in the cold weather, the extra carbon dioxide from our breath was thinning out the atmosphere around the floor area, especially just enough that the pilot wouldn't stay lit. So the heater wouldn't light in the morning, and we were always cold in the morning, couldn't get to work until I figured out that if I left the vent open, which is obviously counterproductive, and put the heater by it, then the heater would light. So that was kind of funky. So in Mammoth, we bought an electric heater, and we used it up there where we were plugged in, but the electric heaters burn batteries really fast, so we couldn't use it for most of the trip. The bunks performed fine, no issues with those. This trailer is really dark to sleep in. There's no windows in it at all, and so that's definitely going to have to change because we didn't know when to wake up. So there's no light at all in the interior except for the little tiny red lights on the light panel, which made a nice little night light. And I'm going to add a big window here in the main wall, probably a 24 by 36 window. I'm going to have to cut one of the wall beams to make that fit, and then I'm probably going to put a littler window back here that I won't have to cut a beam for. I'm going to make an awning. I'm going to fix the back deck portion so we have like a screen porch on the back deck, and I'm going to make some more dedicated storage sort of things so that I could have places to tie tubs down or that sort of thing. I make some fishing pole holders and who knows what else, whatever comes up. So if you're planning on building one of these trailers, I think you should have at it. It's a cool little project. It's not too difficult. It's a little bit pricey if you use high-end stuff. Like the major cost, obviously, the trailer was $4,000 used, so that's a bit of a price there. But I'm not complaining. We were pretty heavy-duty tent campers before, and it's kind of a pain. Now all our camping stuff's in one spot in the trailer. We just leave it in here, and all we have to add is food every time we want to go camping. So stay tuned for the next add-on to this, and who knows what else that I will be building. I never really know myself. I get an idea and I just go for it sometimes. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching my videos.